Hey lovelies, it's Ramona, and today we are on video number 9 of the Makeup Basics 101 series. This is the last teaching video in this series. The very last one that we will do next, video 10, is going to be a very quick get ready with me look for quick work days. In this video, we're going to be going over how to contour, highlight, and blush, which is another very widely requested video. So I'm looking forward to going over this with you, and I hope that I can be of some help. Stay tuned. Okay guys, we are in the final tutorial part of the Makeup Basics 101. We are going to be going over contouring and highlighting today, which is by far one of the things that was requested the most. So I hope that you get a lot out of this, and I hope that you are able to incorporate some of this into your everyday makeup routine. So I do contour, highlighting, and blush last. I like to see what my eyeshadow looks like and how my eyeliner has turned out, if I'm going very dramatic that day, if it's turned out more dramatic than I meant for it to. That way I have an idea of what I'm going for in my contour and highlight look. So I do have this palette for contouring and highlighting. I mainly just use it for contour. It is a NYX contour palette. One thing that you want to make sure of whenever you are beginning contouring is using a shade that is not that much darker than your own skin tone. You also want to make sure that the undertones are correct. So if you are a very pale, light-skinned person without a lot of warm undertones, you definitely don't want an orangier bronzer. You want to stick with the more neutral, cool tone bronzers. Because of this, I'm going to be starting with this color right here. You can see that it's not a whole lot different from my skin tone. It will still give me some darkness, but it will not be as dark as some of these other colors would be on me. I do use a Morphe M530 brush. You can see that it is stained with contouring, as I do use it for that quite often. Alright, so I have zoomed in just a little bit. The place that you want to start your contour is the curve of your hairline right here. Some say the top of your ear. I find that that's just a little bit low. You want to start right here and you want to pull it down. And if you're beginning contouring and you haven't had a lot of experience with it, don't drag it down too far. Just get this little part right here. So we're going to dip this in the powder. We're not using very much at all. And we're going to do very light circles right here. And you can see where it's starting to darken up. So I've just got a nice contour, and it looks a lot more dramatic on camera than it does in real life. And when I turn to the side, you can definitely see that sharp cut of my cheekbones. One of the greatest things about contouring is if you feel like you have overdone it, you can take a beauty blender, you can erase it, you can take a powder brush, and you can lighten it up. So say that I wanted to lighten this up, I would take my powder brush and go back in over it, and I could lighten it back up. So as long as you take incremental steps on contouring, it's hard to get to a place you can't come back from. I'm just going to do the other side real quick. Alright, so on this one I do feel like I did get it a little dark. So I can blend it out quite a bit, and it is still got that nice cut contour right there. Now some people go a lot further, and as you get more advanced and experienced with contouring, you can drag this down lower. You can go around your cheekbones. You can accentuate your full apples of your cheek if you want to. You can just play with it how you want to. I just like doing it right here to cut that cheekbone. Just mind you, always start with your darkest right here and your lightest right here. You want to go in with your lightest touch right here if you do it, because you don't want hardly any color at all to transfer. Just barely carving out those cheekbones. And if you did want to do it that way, how you would find your cheekbones is just smile. That's the apple that you would carve out. Right there. Now to finish off a little bit more contouring, what we are going to do is take that same brush and a bronzer. I have the Too Faced Milk Chocolate bronzer, and I'm just gonna go in right around my hairline, just darken up a little bit. This isn't something that I always do, but if you are learning to contour and contour well, you are going to want to draw attention away from your forehead. My forehead is not a large forehead. I do have a pretty low hairline, and because of that, I don't have a reason to contour my forehead very much. If your forehead is larger, if it goes back further, if you have a hairline that recedes a little bit, or a hairline that is just naturally further back, then yes, you would want to learn how to bronzer your forehead. That way you are drawing the darkness back on the sides. We will be highlighting the inner part of our forehead in a second. So that is pretty much all of the contour that we are going to be starting off with. Very basic steps here. We will get into some more advanced contouring on the channel later. I just want y'all to have a foot in the door. From there, I'm going to add my blush. Now I'm using the MAC Blush Baby. I'm going to dab a little bit on my brush, not a lot. Now how you apply blush is going to depend on you. Some people really like to highlight the apples of their cheeks and they put them right there. I happen to have a slightly rounder face, so I prefer to not highlight the apples of my face. I like to go outward. Still following that contour line pretty much, but just a little bit higher up. And then blending it in. And A, you're warming up that contour, if you can see that. A, you're warming up that contour. And B, you're not highlighting your cheeks. Now, if you want to do it the other way, what you would do is you would smile, find the apples of your cheeks, which are those circles that pop out when you smile, and you would accentuate those. Neither way is wrong. Either way is correct. It just depends on how you want to accentuate your face. Next, we're going to move on to highlighter. Highlighter is something that has really just taken off in the past little bit, and it has just blown up. People love to be shiny and sparkly and just diamonds in their highlighter and holographic and just crazy, crazy highlighter. That's not something I've super gotten used to yet. I am still learning to use a basic highlighter because I have spent my entire life trying to not look shiny. So it's very counterintuitive for me to add a highlighter to my face. But I will show y'all how to highlight if y'all are interested in doing so. I have two highlighters that I'm working with today. One is the ColourPop highlight in the color Lunch Money. The other one is a NYX holographic Halo highlight in the color Mermazing. And this is very holographic, it is very cool toned, and this is very gold and warm toned. So depending on what eye look you have, you may decide to go one or the other. If you have a very cool toned eye look, you may not want a bronzier gold highlight. If you have a very warm look, the holographic cool tone may not look correct. So I'm going in with a very soft, bristled, fluffy brush. It is an M51 from Morphe, and I'm just going to get a little bit on the tip of my brush. Highlighters are very soft, so it's not powdery what you're picking up, like a face powder or a blush. It is very creamy. You're going to almost feel like you're not getting enough on your brush. And what you're going to do is sweep it over the top of your blush and bring it up. And you want to blend it in really well. See how that makes it shine? And like I said, some people love to bling out on highlighters, so there are some crazy pigmented ones out there. Now I'm going to also take this color and get right on the tip of my nose. Highlighting the very tip of your nose does make it look like it turns up just a little bit more, if you'll see. Just a little bit cuteness added to the very tip. And then you can also drag down if you'd like to highlight this part right here. I do know a lot of people do like to highlight that part right in there, that little indent right between your eyebrows. Even on the chin. Just anywhere you feel like you want to draw attention to. It's basically the same places that you put your concealer. That was the groundwork that we laid with the concealer, is the highlighting portion. So we're highlighting here, 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 a little bit on the forehead, and on the chin. Can you see that glow? On the other cheek, I'm actually going to use the holographic highlighter so that you can see how crazy glowy you can actually be. Okay, so same brush. I'm actually just going to be dipping it in the lid. If you can see how holographic and shiny that is, you definitely don't want to get too much powder on there. So I'm just going to dip my brush in there and then follow the same thing. So you can definitely see how it shines, but you can also see how it clashes because this is a very warm look that I have on my face. The highlight is just too cool toned. It is purpley. It's just not working, as well as this very pretty gold. So it is important to keep in mind with the undertones of your highlighter that you're using. Make sure that they are going with the look that you are going for. Okay, so we have gone over skincare routines and primer, foundation, concealer, powder, eyebrows, eyeshadow, eyeliner, mascara, and contouring. And I hope that at least you've gotten a good couple of basics down. That way you have something to build on. Now the last step that I'm going to do, that I do with every makeup look, and you should too, is to set it. There are setting sprays all over the market. There are a dime a dozen, and they all claim to do tons of different things. But what they mainly do is just give a final mist to your face, solidify the look. Most of them will mattify to some point. Some do leave a dewy residue. That is a theme, as you can tell, that you've seen through the videos. I'm going to be using Urban Decay's All Nighter, and you just hold it away from your face and spritz all over it. And then once that dries, you have a very fixed in place face. Okay, so I am a little uneven with my highlighter and my eyes don't quite match, but this is what the end of a full face would look like if you did every step in this routine. You would have cheekbones carved out and you would have a nice graduated eye look with the correct eyeliner being used in the right places. There are much faster, easier ways to do it. I wanted to touch on one part of each step in the makeup process because not everybody uses them every day, but you will use them every now and then. Every now and then I do a complete full glam face just for going out. Most of the days it's a very lightweight face, and you'll see that in the next video. I hope that you have found these videos helpful. I've really enjoyed filming them. If y'all have any questions on anything I did or didn't do, any of the products that I used, or want any more tips or any feedback for me, go ahead and leave a comment down below and I will be happy to reply to it and to make more content tailored to what y'all want. That is what I am here for. So if you found these helpful, go ahead and leave a like down below. Right beside it, please hit the subscribe button because I so enjoy doing this and I just want to keep on creating content for y'all. Hit the notification bell. That way y'all are notified every time that I make new videos, and thank y'all so much for going through this with me, and I hope that y'all learned a lot. Oh my goodness, you guys, I completely forgot to do my lips to complete the look, and I just realized that we left to go somewhere and Matt had said something about it and it just, oh my goodness. So I'm back to do my lips real quick just so you can see how I do them. Lips are pretty simple. It's not something that you need a lot of help with unless you're trying to do a specific technique like overlining or anything like that. So I'm going to do those real quick so that you can see how I do them. So I'm just going to go in with the lip. Then I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Lipstick in Ashton. Alright, so this time for real, this is the last and final look that we have done today. I am sorry that I did not have a full video on lips. If you want me to do one, I definitely can. And once again, if you found this series helpful, go ahead and hit the like down below and subscribe so that I can do more for you. Y'all have an excellent day.